Hi guys, and welcome back to JDM Culture AE. Today we have Asim and his iconic Toyota Century. Hi Asim, how are you?
I'm very well, but thank you, and thank you very much for having me on this show.
Excellent.
I just love whatever you guys doing and keeping the culture alive and everything.
Thank
It's
you
just
very much.
amazing.
Thank you very much. So Asim, just walk us through how did you come to own this Toyota Century?
So this has a lot of character. I was looking for this car for quite some time, couldn't find the ideal piece. After a lot of searching, I found one piece, bought that, brought it here, then started the journey of restoring this. So as you know, this is something which is very unique. This is something which is very magnificent. So it took me 6 months to restore it to this glorious state that it used to be at one point in time. And I'm very happy that I got to restore it to this condition, and it's a pleasure driving it.
So just walk us through the restoration process, the 6 month. Paint us a picture.
So, as you said, paint us a picture. So, my restoration had 3 phases: the complete mechanical checkup, whatever the bits and pieces that needed changing, that needed overhauling for the mechanical. That included the suspension, that included certain mechanical parts of the car. Then came the body work. So some work was required to restore the paint, and certain areas where it had certain amount of pitting, that was completely done up. And the third portion was the interior. So this interior is not leather, it's wool. So restoration of that wool. So there's a special chemical that actually is used to cater for the cleaning of this wool. So that chemical was bought in, that chemical was applied, and then complete restoration of the woolen part, because this complete interior is of wool. So that was done. So it took us like one step mechanical, then a bit of the paint work, then interior, then rinse, repeat the cycle again, then repeat the cycle again in bits and pieces. I created a timeline of 6 months in which I'm going to do this part, this part, this part, and finally, like the interior, exterior, the undercarriage. We did a lot of work on the undercarriage as well.
It's very nice to hear you speak about the restoration process. I mean, it has very intricate things, as you said, like the woolen interior, and the way that you've kind of gone into such detail really shows how much you care and how much you love the car.
These cars have a lot of soul and a lot of character. It's not, I would say, it's not an electric car which is soulless. Although I drive one and people would be hating me for saying, these cars have souls, and these cars, I believe, have characters. And you need to understand that this is a V12 engine. The only one Toyota ever made. There's 2 inline 6 engines fused together to form a V12. This car does not carry any insignia or badging of Toyota, because this was the epitome of their luxury. So whatever they did back in the day, I mean, imagine voice navigation. Imagine this car would interact with you. Imagine that your sun visor, there's a small portion on top of the sun visor, and that portion also has a sun visor. So that there is no nook and cranny through which the direct sunlight would go into the rear passenger's eyes. I mean, attention to the detail of that level. That your sun visor has its own sun visor. And by the way, this car came with its own umbrella, like the Rolls-Royce.
I believe it's in the door, right?
It's not in the door. It's in the trunk, but this car comes with its own umbrella. This car comes with its own pair of slippers. So if you sit in the back seat and the front seat, not the driver definitely, but the front passenger seat, there is an opening. You open it, you take off your shoes, you slide your feet into it, and then there are slippers that you wear, and then you just relax, switch on the massage, and just relax in the back seat. This car has its own container which comes with its own slippers. So in addition to like the Rolls Royce only comes with an umbrella. Come on, the Japanese thing comes with an umbrella and your own pair
Slippers as
of
well.
slippers. How cool is that?
True. Um, again, like you said, it has no badging of Toyota because this is the top level of luxury, right? And
The
I
Flying
think,
Phoenix.
yeah,
Now, the Phoenix is representing the golden phoenix, which is just flying out, is their way of saying that this is something which has broken all boundaries. There's no glass ceiling on it.
yeah,
And it has just broken all boundaries and brackets. Even the suspension. People talk about single wishbone and double wishbone. Now, 3 levels of wishbone suspensions. Amazing. If you go under this car,
yeah,
the exhaust system. Now we're going for loud exhaust system. This
Yeah.
has the quietest exhaust system. In those days, the decibel meters, I don't understand how they, I'm sure they had some sort of digital decibel meters at that time to monitor even the closing sound of the door.
yeah,
It took hundreds of attempts to just get that perfect sound of closing of the door. And that's the intricate level of detail that went into creating this car. So people, when they buy this, they need to understand the history. This was used by the Japanese royalty
yeah,
because they never wanted the Japanese royalty to sit in any of the American-made cars or the German cars or the British cars. They wanted a car of their own, which the royalty is proud,
yeah,
and it has 110% reliability factor.
yeah.
So those two things fused formed the Century.
The Century. How does it feel owning that part of it's Japanese culture?
It's a very humbling experience. People talk about Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
People talk about Bentleys. They are too much in your face. They have a road presence. This has a road presence, a very, very but understated luxury.
Yeah,
The Japanese way is the understated luxury. You need to understand what went into creating this.
yeah,
This was a product of love that they had for that brand and whatever they wanted to deliver, and their affinity to their seniors and their founders, and based on that affinity,
yeah.
they created this.
You mentioned about, this is Toyota's only V12. It's obviously not a car that's made for going fast, but that's obviously a big engine. Just walk us through, what does it feel like driving that?
It's a big engine, but it's a big car. You have to understand that the V12 that they have is not, it's a monster engine, but it is undertuned. So a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of Japanese clientele who have converted this into a roaring monster, because the engine has the capacity,
Yeah.
but it is down-tuned. It has 3 levels of mufflers just to dampen that sound. So it's not only the dampening of the sound, but it is also the reduction of that horsepower. So the power is there.
Yeah,
I mean, this engine operates around 90%, 92% of efficiency still, which is amazing.
yeah,
But it's not super fast.
yeah,
When you push down the accelerator, you will feel the car move, but you're not supposed to race anybody.
yeah, 100%.
The people who are sitting in the back seat, if they arrive late, that is the time to arrive. You know what they say, ek baal der se aata hai. So they arrive in their own time, and people are supposed to wait for them. So that's not an issue.
You speak a lot about sitting in the back seat and enjoying it from the back seat. Obviously, this is your car.
I
Do
have
you?
I really get the pleasure of sitting in the back seat, and whenever I'm sitting in the back seat and somebody else is driving, I have a very uncomfortable experience because I'm like, watch out for this, watch out for this, just be careful of this.
Yeah.
So for me, it has not been a very like amazing experience to sit in the back seat, but I'm sure other people that sit with me have an awesome experience.
So how often do you drive the car?
As much as possible,
Okay.
which is at least once a week or once in 10 days.
Okay. So it's not a garage queen, like it's
No,
being
it's
used,
not.
definitely.
It's
Yeah.
being used. I drive it when I
And you want to
want to
feel
arrive
extra
somewhere.
special. I feel.
Somewhere special.
Yeah.
For special occasions, for when I'm going out in the evenings. That car cannot be driven for picking up grocery.
Understandable. Yeah.
I get very offended when somebody asks, can we go there? No, we can't take this car and go there. I'm sorry.
It's not meant for that. Yeah. Okay. So Asim, how long have you owned the car for?
I've owned this car for about 3 years.
Okay. And in the 3 years, if you had to pick a favorite memory, which would that be?
So after I restored it completely, that was the first time I took it and showed it to my wife, and I asked her if we can go for a drive in this, and then she was very excited. She really loved the car, and she loved the car so much that she sat in the car, and within 5 minutes while I was driving, she fell asleep. And she woke up when I actually reached home, and I said, how did you like it? She said, this car was so comfortable, this car was so silent, it is such an amazing car that I fell asleep.
So in the 3 years, have you taken it to any drives or events or any club things?
Yes, one of my colleagues, Erin, is also a fan of JDM, and you know him very well. So he takes it to all these get together and meet and greet and these events. And this car, whenever goes there, my job is to clean it, polish it, give it to him, fuel it up, give it to him, and he always comes back with the broadest smile and some sort of certificate of appreciation of like, or this car has won something, this contest or that. So that's about it. I have never taken it myself.
How does it feel, preparing the car for that and then seeing your colleague come back with such a smile on your face because of your car?
Worth it. Worth every moment that I spent restoring. It's not about money. The basic common denomination that we all have is time. And the time that I've spent in restoring that and caring for this, that just feels like it's being rewarded. It's being appreciated.
So I will now ask you, when you look for a car, what's the one thing that you look for in a car?
Okay, so when you buy a car, resale value, the maintenance cost, the fuel average. These are three things I never look at.
Okay.
So these are things I do not consider ever. I am mainly interested about what's the history of the car, what is the character of the car, how can I add value to the journey of the car. Every car has a journey. How can I add value to that? And if that I can resonate with that character, then I go for that car.
Okay. Being a V12, I know it's not something that you look for in a car, but do you mind sharing what's the gas mileage that you get on this car?
Sorry?
What's the gas mileage?
Gas mileage. This interview is over.
Like and subscribe.